Alright, hi kids. As you may have guessed from my outfit, today we are going to learn a little bit about beekeeping and how honey is made, where honey comes from, and all of the cool fun things associated with. So we're going to go ahead and take a visit to Ceres farm with beekeeper Kathy Peterson, and she's going to introduce us to her bees and show us the hives, and we're going to learn a lot of cool stuff today. So it's going to be really exciting and really fun. And you won't have to get up close and personal with the bees. You can just let me do that and I'll show you all the amazing things inside their hives. Go ahead.
I'm Kathy Peterson and this is my bee yard. It's still a little messy from over the winter, but I'm gonna take in and show you what the inside of the beehives look like. The bees are all out working today. You can see they're all flying around there. Now around the outside there I have an electric fence. It's a solar electric fence because I have bears around, and the bears will go into the bee yard and just rip everything apart because, you know, the thing about poo and honey is the absolute truth. But these are not poo bears. These are bears with fairly large claws, and they're almost impervious to bees. There aren't many places that a bear can get stung because their fur is so thick, but they can get stung in the mouth, but they don't care because they like honey so much. So I'm going to turn the fence off so I don't get that with my handy dandy actuator. Oh, they sound happy. Now, last week, the day before Easter, I put new bees in 3 of the hives, and these cages and the cans down here on the ground are the cages that they came in, and then I dumped them into the hives. So, let's see. This is one of my new hives. Let's see how they're doing here. Oh my goodness. Now, this is the outer cover of the hive. And this is the inner cover. And there they are.
Wow, there are a lot of bees in there. You guys can see all these bees.
And down in there, there's a queen bee, and she's already laying eggs. And as soon as they fill up this box, I'll put on another box the same size. And then when that one is full, then I can start putting on these boxes, the shallower boxes, and that's what the honey that I get to take. See, that's what, well, this one's a dead out. They're robbing it. The bees from other hives are coming and eating the honey. See, this is honey down in here, and from last year, and the bees died over the winter, but the other bees are coming in and taking the honey, which is great because there are a lot of things are starting to pollinate now. Here we go. And things are flowering, and pretty soon the apple trees will be flowering and my berry bushes, and then I'll have lots of stuff to work on. So these cells in here, these are full of honey, and from last year, and they're chewing it open and eating the honey. Now, in the boxes where the queen is, she'll be laying eggs in these little hexagonal cells. She'll lay the eggs in there, and they'll cap them with wax, and then once the eggs hatch into little larvae, then they'll, just like butterflies and lots of other bugs do, they'll metamorphose. They go from an egg to a larvae to a pupa, which is a bigger kind of crawly thing, and then it turns into a baby bee. And in the hive, there are all the bees in the hive, all the worker bees, are all female. And the only male bees are the drones. And they really don't do anything except mate with a new queen when she comes along. So that's what the inside looks like with just these robbing bees right now. So I'm going to open this up. This one's another one of the new ones. And you can see they're getting pretty busy in there. We don't need this anymore.
What is that?
This is the queen cage. And if you get bees in a package, the queen travels in this package with some attendant bees to take care of her. And she's in this little container here, and there's a plug in the end made out of candy, and the bees will eat the candy to let her out once she's in here. So she's down in there laying eggs like crazy. There's more bees in there. These are really nice new bees. Now, a lot of times when I'm in the bee yard, I use a smoker, and I'll show you that. I'm not going to do it today, but the smoker, it's like a can that you start a fire in, and then you put the fire out and just let it smoke. And the smoke calms the bees. Their instinct is to go into the hive and start filling their stomachs with honey because they sense that there's a fire, and they have an instinct to fill up with honey, and it makes them hopefully makes them really calm. Not always. Sometimes it just annoys them. So this is my other brand new one, and again, that one's nice and got lots of bees boiling around in there. This big one here, this is my Crabby Hive, but it's a very this one and these two were from last year, and this one is a really strong hive. This one they're crabby, but they're make a lot of honey. See, look at them all. Now I'm going to have to put a honey super on this one. I put a super on this one a couple days ago because they were filling up. Now, this right here is called a pollen patty. I put that on to make sure they had enough to eat until, now see, they're starting to, they'll be starting to bring pollen in. These are the frames that'll have the honey in them that I can take. I always make sure that there are 2 deep boxes full of honey to tide them over next winter before I take any honey for myself.
Bees gotta eat too, huh?
That's right. Yeah,
oh wow, your hives are really strong, Kathy.
Yeah, they're doing. Bring it over here. Now there's a little bee down here, and she's got an orange spot on her leg. That's pollen.
Oh, so she's been out getting stuff.
She's been out working. And lots of times they'll come in with different colors of pollen. Sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's orange, once in a while red. Out west, I can't remember the plant, but the purple. The purple, the plant has purple. Now look at all these. See, they're bringing pollen into the hive.
So they're finding stuff
They
out
have
there.
hairs on their back legs that they collect, and we call them the pollen baskets, and that's where they collect the pollen to bring into the hive. Oh yeah, they've been busy.
So how does that affect the honey that you get?
Well, different kinds of plants have different tasting honey. Most of the plants that I have growing up here, in the spring I have fruit blossoms. I have lots of wild apple trees, and down there I've got lots and lots of berry bushes. And so they collect the fruit blossoms, and the blossom honey is a lighter in color and not quite as heavy. In the fall, they get pollen from goldenrod and asters, and that honey is much darker and has a much heavier taste to it. When I can always tell in the fall when they start bringing goldenrod into the hives, because the hives smell different. They smell really strong. So and in the middle of the summer, there's not an awful lot. It's called the dearth, and there are not an awful lot of things that are blossoming right in the middle of the summer. So different kinds of plants make different kinds of honey. Down south, where there are orange trees, there's orange blossom honey, and it tastes very different from stuff that grows around here. Apple blossom honey tastes different than locust honey. It's just like if you make juice out of fruit, it's going to taste like the kind of fruit you make it out of. And it's kind of that way with honey.
All right.